Right, so this is slightly annoying. I just made half of this video and then it ended up cutting out because an advert popped up on my screen, but I've turned off my internet, so it shouldn't happen again, I hope. Anyway, I was partway through making a film review of a film that I watched last night, which was an extremely good film. I don't know if my explanation or review of the film is actually going to do it justice, but I would recommend watching it so you can actually experience it for yourself and see what it's about, really. So the film's called Gone Girl. I think it had like 4 stars or something. But I would probably give it 5 personally because of the way that it's being compiled together to just create this very deep, intense film that you just really don't want to stop watching. So basically, the film's about a man and a wife, so a husband and a wife, and the wife is basically a psychopath, and she ends up framing her husband for her murder for the majority of the film, and you actually start to believe this as an audience member, and the media within the film, they're all portraying that he's this bad guy as well, but he's not really, and yeah, so she ends up writing a diary. So at the start of the diary, she says all these positive things about their marriage, saying how they're different to other couples, how they're so happy and loving, and they're just getting along, and then it progresses on to become a lot darker. So she starts off with the honest stuff that he's able to confirm, but when the police find the diary, but then she starts talking about abuse and how she's scared of her husband and how he's pushed her and how she's scared that he's actually going to kill her. So she says all of these things in this diary, and it just points towards him being a criminal who's killed his wife. On top of that, she's gone further and she's actually cut herself, and to put blood all over the kitchen to make it look like he'd actually killed her, and so everyone's believing the story, and yeah, until the husband eventually figures it all out. He knows that she's pretty much a psychopath, and that she's actually done this to husbands in the past. So she's framed them for rape, and she's framed she's just said bad things about past boyfriends, about them being stalkers and stuff behind their backs. So she's basically a classical psychopath, and yeah, so she ends up running away. No one really knows about this. They all think she's dead. And about halfway through the film, the husband ends up going on the TV. On the reason that she wants to do all this is because she caught him having an affair. So she goes to all these lengths to basically get back at him. It's like she doesn't want him alive. She wants him to be sent to death. So she basically wants a massive revenge. And yeah, so he'd ended up having an affair. She found out about it, so she did all these crazy things and framed a murder and then left. And you actually see halfway through the film that she's still alive, and that she's living elsewhere, and she's got a lot of money, and she ends up getting caught out. Almost caught out by these people that she's living next door to, because they find out she's got a lot of money when she said she was poor. So she ends up getting robbed. And anyway, her husband ends up going on the TV and telling her what she wants to hear. He says, "Look, I know you're still out here. I do love you and I really want you to come home." And this is what she wants to hear. So at this point, she's living with one of her ex-boyfriends in his house. So she ends up framing him for kidnapping her and raping her. And he's got security cameras all around his house, so she has no problem doing this. And then she slits his throat when they're having sex on the bed. And this is basically like, it was just seen as self-defense, because in the scene before, you see her going up to the camera on the outside of the house with rope tied around a leg, and she's just bleeding, basically. So she's just a complete psychopath. And it's a really good film because it's like, it just shows like what capacities some people can go to. It just makes you aware of the evil within people and the malicious tendencies that people can have. And it's like, as I was watching it, I felt like it changed my perspective on humanity a little bit. And it I don't know, it was a really good film, and yeah, I just think it was really clever as well. So she ends up coming home, because she's so manipulative and psychopathic, she doesn't get caught up in any of the lies she's told or any of the things she's done. She basically just ends up manipulating more people, including the police and the media, and no one can do anything about it. And the husband is basically forced to take her back. He keeps saying that he's gonna leave her, but she keeps bringing him back and say, well, what would that look like to the media if you just came out on the TV and said that how much you love me and you want me back? And I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know if my explanation's really doing it justice, but it's a film that I would definitely recommend watching, and I think it will make you question your preconceived ideas about human nature and what people can actually be like. And I don't know, I just think it's really clever. I actually wanted it to have a fairy tale ending, but that's not really realistic. I wanted her to get sent down. I wanted justice to be served, but it wasn't. And I think this is just reflective of the real world. She didn't go to prison. She got away with a lot of the things that she did, and nothing could be done about that. And I think that's one of the reasons I actually did like the film. Like, I wished that the ending would have been different. I wished that I don't know. I wish it could have ended better for him, because she's exploited a lot of people, and she doesn't deserve to be living with him. She doesn't deserve to be starting a family again. It's a really good film, and it just makes you think about the world and what people are like. And it basically ends with them in the house together and talking on the media about how they're gonna have a baby and how happy they are, but really you know that they're not happy. It's all just a front. And I think another thing the film made me think about was the importance of society's views on us as individuals. So we fear social exclusion. She used a form of social exclusion as power in that relationship. She used it many times. She used it as a threat at the end of the film when she said, well, if you leave, then I'll just tell the media all these bad things about you, and then you'll be hated by everybody. And he was practically forced to stay. She also used social exclusion in the sense that she framed him for a murder, and obviously that caused the media to go against him in the masses, and that caused all his neighbours to hate him, and everyone hated him. Everyone thought he was the bad guy, and that probably made him feel not great at all. And yeah, and so I guess we all fear that, and I think the film really outlines the way that that society, that the way that we actually do want to be accepted by society. And I think the end of the film demonstrates that a lot. Because the right thing to do in that situation would be to go to the police, tell them the truth of what's been happening, and then obviously let justice be served. But that wasn't possible, because he knew that she would just be able to manipulate the whole situation to make him out to be the bad guy again. He didn't want that. So yeah, it was just a really good film, and I can't explain it properly, I don't think, but I would recommend going and watching it for yourself if you haven't already. Yeah, so next I think I'm going to do a book review, probably on The Picture of Dorian Gray, because I said at the end of one of my other videos that I would probably do a review on that. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, then leave a like. I've probably left some important things out, and for that reason, I would go and watch the film yourself. Because obviously it's a different experience actually watching the film as to listening to someone talk about it. And yeah, that's all I want to say really, so thank you for watching.